I'm chasing shadows in the night. Words echo silent where I hide. Every mirror shows a stranger's eyes, searching for the part of me that's mine. But the sky ignites a spark inside, burning down to wait. In the ashes of my fight, truth is born again. I will rise up like a phoenix from the flame. Find my voice and call out your name. From the roots of what I used to be, I'll embrace the truth and set it free. Blinded by the weight of all my fears, I let them break me, shape my tears. Every scar's a testament to love. Now I rewrite the story in my mind. Feel the fire burning. I'm no longer turning away from the truth that's calling. I'm alive today. All I used to be. Flash of freeness, flies Larry, set me free. Rising high, Phoenix, watch me go.
All right, we are going to try this one more time. I hope that you can hear me and you saw the intro. Tell ya, they keep trying to shut me down, and you know what? They can keep on freaking trying because the truth is coming out. I will mark my words, the truth is just about around the corner. And if you don't believe me, hang out and see what happens. Because they are definitely trying to shut down the real deal truthers. I'm just going to say that. I will say that. I will refrain from all my spiciness in regards to what I'm going to share with you. But you know what? There's a darker, and then there's the darkest side of true crime. And what is that? What does it look like to you? Drop your thoughts below. Hopefully, if you didn't see my intro, come back. I'm telling you, I don't know how I got the crud again, but I got the crud again. All right, but I'm going to power through this bad boy no matter what. And I love spicy too, don't get me wrong. But I want to show you something. You know, they want to distract us from the truth of this case. And there are more people on the side of truth versus the more people trying to shove a certain narrative for you to believe and to be hoodwinked about. I mean, let me just ask you a question, chat. If you want me to get spicy, we're going to get spicy. But let me ask you an honest question. Do you really believe the bullshit that is being put in front of you? How many, I've got some oil of oregano, Aries, thank you. How many of you believe the bullshit? I am no longer traveling. Believe me, they know I'm back at it. And I don't know if you've seen this video floating around, the dark side of true crime. I don't know if you've seen that, but if y'all have entered the chat and you have gone down this rabbit hole to see who this person is, I'm telling you, it's right in front of our faces. Right in front of our faces. See, because they can't discredit the court documents. They can't discredit what is in the official testimony. They can't reel back from the real pictures. They have to make something up about creators that are sharing these documents with you. And that is exactly what they are doing. They are trying to discredit those truthers who are sharing accurate information and saying that they're not sharing accurate information. So they're trying to distract us. The parents have asked for us to please stop talking about this case. Why? Why have the parents asked to stop talking about this case? What? Why is that? Why have the parents asked everyone to stop talking about this case? Is it because they might be found out of something? Now, here is my question to you. And it's just a thought that popped into my mind. Could this be a RICO case? Could this be a case that didn't go the way somebody wanted it to go, and they wanted to push the narrative to sway a jury even before it got to a trial? Is that what happened? Because remember, in the case files, in the document files, and Taylor was concerned with that too. Someone was calling around and questioning people in Moscow, and they have it in the court documents. I hope everybody remembers that. And let's ask who the real people that want to hide this story is. Because the case information is out there. The case legal documents are out there. The case factual pictures are out there. The case transcripts are out there. And remember what Judge Hippler said on file. Yes, folks, on file in the unredacted. Whew, I'm about to get off on this one. Unredacted hearing notes. What did Judge Hippler say? Well, if somebody's going to come forward and confess that they did this, what? What? And if you guys didn't get to see that, it's in there. The transcript of the redacted hearing is also in there. The transcript of the closed hearing, redacted, is in there. It is all there for you to read. People need to start learning how to read. They need to start learning what is going on right in front of their eyes. Because I'm going to tell you, back when the vid hit in Boston, people were fighting that they did not want to have a shot. They were fighting. And the case went in front of a hearing board. And I don't know if you remember this. I do. There were people out there protesting on the steps. No, we don't want this. It should not be mandatory for our schools, for our children. They fought like hell, and they won. They won. We, the people, won against they, the system. You don't hear much about that one anymore. Mothers and fathers fighting for our rights. In Boston, over the COVID crap. Was anybody around watching that as it unfolded? There were tons of people protesting. There were tons of people on the courthouse during the hearings. Tons of people that said, heck no. Heck no. They demanded an end for it. Anybody remember that being shared all over the internet and not in the media? I do. I was ready to go down there and stand in and fight with them. Because I think we should fundamentally have a choice. We should have a choice. And we should have a choice what goes in our bodies and what we watch on TV. You guys don't think you don't have a choice? Sometimes all you have to do is turn the TV off. That's your choice. Wow. All right. And here's another choice. You get to decide what creators you get to watch, that you decide with your own free will. You get to decide. And remember, the crime scene collective out there is a bunch of nonsense. It's stuff that hasn't even gone to trial. This is how they're trying to sway a jury. And I'm going to keep on going on about this. They're not going to shut me the fuck up. And I will tell you, yes, I dropped an F-bomb. I apologize in advance if you have little ears around. Beep. I'll bleep it out next time. But I'm telling you, this exists. And I would love to see the people who are connected with this crime scene collective, with any agencies out there pushing true crime narratives. I would love to see those financial statements, to see if any people that we know are on that freaking list. What do you think? Drop a 1 if you think some of these creators are on that list. Believe me, I am 100% independent. I am not on any list. I am not paid by anyone except for you that watch my videos. I am not selling merchandise. I'm not trying to gain a big following. I'm just trying to share the information. That is all I am trying to do as a concerned United States citizen and a veteran of the United States Navy, and a mother and a grandmother and a sister, with all the people out there that want to know the truth. At the end of the day, don't you just want to know the truth? Because those bumbling idiots out there that stand on their freaking paychecks, that are out there putting information that is not true. Inmate number 16, I don't even know the rest, but you know what I'm talking about. Trash bucket. Well, dog face. I'm going to just say this once and for all. I know who you're connected to. I've seen you running the streets before. And you know what? There's a TikTok account that shared. I can't play the music because I'll get dinged and violated. But what I can share with you is the video, and you can go check them out for yourself over at the TikTok. There was a story about Micah Miller that came out that a certain creator was sharing. And I thought, who the hell is this? Why are they connected to this? And then it said Crime Scene Collective. This individual was part of the Crime Scene Collective. It's all right there in black and white. All right there. Then another story came out, and they were a part of that story too, with exclusive interviews. And I thought, how in the world did this person get exclusive interviews? And then it was very clear when someone pointed out to me they're part of this collective. Collective? What do you mean collective? What are you talking about? Oh my God, there's actually an agency that pushes true crime content to share a fake narrative? You gotta be kidding me. Yes. And I'm probably the only creator that is going to tell you 100% God's honest truth. It's out there on the internet for you to see. It's all right in your face. I'm just pointing you in the direction to go look. I'm helping you. And see, they like to hire felons because they have a hard time getting a job. But on social media, you can come work for me, share false narratives, and people are paying us to share lies. What the hell? Yes, they are paying people to share lies. Then another story came out. I'm sure you've seen this story. Let me go back to it. There, that creator was connected yet again. This creator was collected. And it is. Is it a form of RICO? Maybe. I don't know. I'm no expert. But now it's all making sense. And if you don't think people do these things, they do. And here was another exclusive case they got a sit down interview with. Just yet another one. How did they do it? Have no idea. But this person was part of the, I believe it might be criminal conspiracy, in my humble opinion. Because isn't that how you put something out in the media, and then what's happening behind the scenes in the legal realm of things, that's not the truth? Why are people out there not sharing the truth? This was another case. Another big one. And now you see who this person is connected to. And this person even had an exclusive sit down with the IDAHO4 parents, the G family. Just another case, just another story. Just another way to get paid. Telling the truth, or is it all just for entertainment? Fucking-tainment. And then they go out and make true lies about creators that aren't in the agency or the collective. See, I told you out there that I was going to get to the nitty gritty of this. And as I promised, you want to tell lies about me? I'm going to tell the truth about you. This could possibly be a whole RICO case. How many cases has this person been involved with? How many cases are we going to believe until we see the truth and really understand what the truth is? How many more cases do we have to see like this to believe somebody behind this is pushing an agenda for the American public to be hoodwinked, for our justice system to be tested? Is that what's really going on? Ask yourself, what am I watching today? You get to choose. And all of these people sending me a bunch of crap. Stop spamming my email, idiots. These people are such idiots. They spam my email nonstop. And do you know what? Yeah, it's just another Charlie Kirk. Look at that. I'm just telling you the dark and the darkest side of true crime. This is what these people do all day long. Now, if I wanted to make money, I could sit here and make 100 freaking videos a day on the IDAHO4 truths. I could make at least 10 videos seriously a day to make money, clicks, likes, and views. I'm not with any agency or a collective to share that bunch of crap all day long or talk bad about other people, because I really had to struggle with this one. Do people really talk shit about people for the fun of it? Are they really making fun of people or telling people not to listen to the people who were telling you the truth to make you look bad, discredit you, defame you? If you are out there publicly and someone shares your information, that is not doxing. That is just you stupidly sharing your private information. Get it off, get it scrubbed. Just a little FYI in there. But when I say that this shit is real, people. This video that has had 10,000 views, either this person is with some agency, because now this video has been seen by 10,000 people 10 days ago. That's about 1,000 people a day and 628 comments. But if you go and look at this video and you go and look at the background of this person, you'll know the truth. Because see, the internet is forever. People can be found in the Wayback Machine. People could be found making a stupid comment on some Facebook post, sharing their real name and their address and yada, yada, yada. And they even put it inside this video that they were doxxed. But yet, this person is publicly on the internet. This person makes videos. Behind them are scream masks and those demon dolls. Yes, I will say, in my humble opinion, they are demon dolls. And yes, I blocked this creator a long time ago. She is full of poop up to her nose, in my humble opinion. And I'm sure people have sent me all kinds of comments that would agree. Now, I'm not here to slander or bash anyone, but you have the free will to go read for yourself. All these documents are available for yourself. And I had a feeling that maybe this person was the one that tried to take down my website. And maybe it is. Maybe it is. But I'll tell you, with 235,000 followers, talking bad about somebody can actually hurt somebody's reputation, like mine, where I have built my channel organically, independently. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I mean, look, there's those demon dolls in the background and scream whatever all over her wall in the background, if you've ever seen any of her videos. I'm just telling you the way it is. She hasn't made many videos with them in the background ever since I called them out. But look, they're there. I'm not lying to you. She's got the scream masks all behind her, these demon dolls all around, a coffin on the back of her thing. And this girl wants you to believe that she is some attorney with these nails as long as her arm. Okay? I'm just telling you. I'm just pointing out things of observations in that picture that is truthful. That is a truthful analysis of the pictures. I don't have to be an expert. I don't have to be an expert in the scream mask or the devil dolls, whatever, demon dolls. I don't have to be an expert in that, but I could tell you. Either that girl, I don't know how she wipes her own butt, but I'm telling you, I would never show up in a courtroom with nails like that. Ever. For anyone to take me seriously. In my humble opinion, I'm just telling you. But if you look at her views on her video, again, 10,000 views, 628 comments, and you go to some of her other videos and she has 74 views, 130 views, 106 views, 354 views. Don't tell me that she's not paid and there aren't bots and they aren't pushing the server farm bots to like that video and watch that video. Look at her history of her shorts. 730 people have viewed it. 894, 118, 710, 114, 475. What does that tell me? Math analysis. And she has 1,000 subscribers. 1.2. And she says she's a criminal defense attorney, a public defender breaking down high profile cases from a legal perspective. On this channel, I explain trials, true crime, and courtroom strategy, what matters, what doesn't, and what the public often gets wrong. Okay, she's got her name here. She's got her name right here. That's public, guys. Totally public. But let me tell you what I assessed from her videos. Look at the content that she's sharing. Seriously, look at the content she's sharing and then ask yourself, is this girl for real? Is she for real? I don't see any education. I don't see anything but sharing videos that have been put in the public eye and commentary or in my opinion. I mean, you could check it out. And this whole video that she's decided to put my own face in,
when someone unredacted document
her voice. She wants to throw other people's videos in there. She has a picture of my face, doesn't even talk about me, but she puts it out there like I'm one of those people that you should watch out for when I factually share information that is truthful, which is shocking. But just throwing my picture up there and associating me with some of these other people is highly questionable. Then she talks about people with possibly mental issues. Like, is she a doctor? Can she diagnose people? And obviously, she points out the people who actually tell you the truth. She starts talking to about my picture, my video, some comments. Did any autopsy show gunshot wounds? Well, the parents said they were shot. Did the autopsy? No, we haven't seen them. But did the autopsy? Don't know, but the parents said they were shot. Someone said the parents said they were shot. See, this girl went and she twisted every single thing. Everything. Oh, yes, the family asked you to stop talking. Please stop. Are you being hired, Miss E? Are you being hired by the G's? Have you been hired to put this out there? And in your little agency or your little collective that you will be rewarded with views? I mean, honestly, 10,000 views for somebody who has 1,000 followers. Get fucking real. Get real. You go look at my little account. I've never had 10,000 views. I think the highest one I've had is 3,800 views. Let's just take a look. Let's just take a look. And this is the truth. Organically. Organically views. Let's see. Let me go to my videos. 2.6, 818, 13, 912. They're pretty consistent. Very consistent. Those are my videos. My lives are a little larger. They're a little, some of them. So don't tell me that we're out there spreading misinformation when we're not. Totally not. You can go look through my videos. You can go look and see mine are pretty consistent. I'm not being paid by anyone. These are all organic views. You can go look. I mean, come on. I think my highest one was 5,000. I mean, if it was truly viral, yeah, that would make a difference. But it's not. I think she's being pushed by someone, being paid by someone. In my humble opinion, it looks like that. But that's just my opinion. You can go look for your own. That is the darker and the darkest side of true crime, is when you have a self-proclaimed defense attorney. I've never seen her credentials as anybody else. Anybody else seen her credentials? Anybody else looked her up and know exactly what her profession is? I mean, I did. I was curious, so I looked her up. And if you're out there publicly, then that's your fault. That is your fault, not mine. You know, she's on Instagram. She's on every social media that you could think of. All you have to do is go look. Anyways, that's the darker side, the darkest side of TikTok. Because I will tell you, there are other people that are connected. If you go and look at some of these creators that are sharing information, they will basically tell you who they are and who they follow and more. They'll even show you they're commenting on each other's videos. Crazy shit. And then you'll know who their little cliques are and how they hang out and who they're supporting and all that good stuff. Like London's Notebook. That's another one. I mean, I could sit here and bash them all day long, but I don't. I don't have time for that. I'm too busy reading and investigating and looking into this whole freaking ordeal of the IDAHO4 that doesn't make sense to me. Because I have that right. I have that fundamental right to go and do what I want to do. Yay, me. Go me. I get to do exactly that. But I'll tell you, some of these people are part of this collective. They're not going to tell you the truth. And I'm not looking to diss any other creator. What I'm here to give you is facts and evidence of this happening. And it does. It 100% does. So when I go on here to get on here to show you latent footprints in the photos and other things, they can say whatever they want. Where was this latent print? Does anybody have any idea from the pictures? Where was this latent print? I mean, these pictures are quite, and I just have to give a disclaimer, they are pretty brutal. And this is the one that I talked about that I was going to share as promised. People have been asking me about it. I don't know if you saw my video on the TikTok, but let me give you, I'm surprised it has 114,000 views right now. It is shocking. I just put that up and people are just like, wow, never thought of this before, but it makes sense. I'll talk about this picture that I just showed you after we listen to the video.
I'm going to start right here. I am not the only one that's having a really hard time with some of these photos from the IDAHO4 that do not make sense. Now, I'm not going to share some of these pictures that are very extremely disturbing in my humble opinion. This is a warning. I will not be showing any body parts. However, there are a few pictures where I have seen fingers, and obviously there are pictures that we can only assume that there is hair. But I will say, you know, I know that I would not want this to be my child's pictures posted all over the internet. However, this picture was very disturbing, as well as some of the other pictures that looks like somebody has taken fast food napkins, have put their foot down and smeared or tried to clean up some areas. That's what I see. That's what I envision. Now, my views are my views alone. This is not professional interpretation. This is just a human interpretation. And I'm going to be going over this live stream, obviously, in more detail with what I see and some of the things that don't make sense to me, in which a lot of people are saying, wait a minute, some of these things don't make sense. One thing is not like the other. And I would agree there were some scalp injuries. I know there's a lot of discussion going around the internet about the Idaho 4 in these new pictures that were released and then deleted, just like some documents that were released and then deleted. And I was thankful that while I was on vacation, I actually downloaded on my phone, thank God for storage, the actual pictures. However, I will not be showing all of the pictures. I am not about clicks, likes, and views. I am about information, facts, and evidence. And even though the evidence states something very clearly to me, that doesn't mean that you'll interpretate the evidence the way that I see it after reading all the court documents, after listening to all of the testimony in court available, and looking at the documents that were redacted. And here's the kicker. There are forensic documents that verify people's fingerprints, thumbprints, palm prints. And I'm going to discuss that more because these people are the ones who were actually commenting and having their mothers comment on my videos, which I thought was kind of odd, but now I know why they're commenting on my videos, because they may not want certain information out there, because you have to be reading and looking at these documents very clearly to understand. So I will be reviewing those tonight, hopefully on the YT. I am just about completed looking at all these forensic documents that were scrubbed. So sit tight. This is going to blow your mind. You know the drill. You know to hit that button, and you know to tag someone. Be well. I'm just going to start right here. I am not the only one that Okay, now I have seen this comment floating around a lot of places, and I will say, curly fries, really? Are you really trying to tell me that these were fries? Because if these were fries, somebody had to take the fry, dunk it in the red stuff like a stamp, and put it there, and then remove it. And this is definitely not something written down in a pool of anything. This is something that looks like it was stamped. Now, I'm no expert, but I have access to experts, and they basically say that there's no possible way that this could be a writing or a curly fry stamp. And I'm concerned because 38 other people agreed with you that this is curly fries. Now, if red stuff pulled around the curly fries and they picked the curly fry up, it would look smeared. This looks like a stamp, if it was indeed your comment, of a curly fry, which doesn't logically make sense. I swear, I will tell you, either you are a BOT of the problem, part of the collective, sharing a specific narrative and trying to discredit the people who bring truth, facts, and evidence in this case. And yes, this is not a story, it is a case. But someone's calling this a story. Are we really just listening to a story? Are there people trying to share a specific narrative that the court records, the documents, the pictures don't add up to what we're being told by the ISP and the FBI and the MPD? Because they couldn't give any stalking connection to Koberger, to the victims. They couldn't give any connection that he was in that house. No fibers, no hair in his apartment or his car. And yet people still think he's guilty. See, his back was up against a wall. And he had only two options. One, they didn't even give him the option to go to trial. They forced him into a plea deal. Yeah, because that's what the justice system does. They force you into a plea deal, even though you may be innocent. Factually innocent Koberger is in prison while the real killers are out there, and this case is not solved. So the next time you say curly fries, you and your 38 little cronies out there typing curly fries, no common sense. You know the drill, because I guarantee you these were no curly fries.
All right. So, curly fries unite. That's all I gotta say in regards to this video. Now, does it look like curly fries were in this picture? No. I know there's another picture of a plate that has curly fries, but I'm just going to give you a disclaimer. This is pretty brutal to look at. In my humble opinion, a horrible fight took place in this room. Horrible. Now, does it look like someone took the napkins and tried to smear? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. It looks like somebody has tried to smear and wipe their shoe off on the pillow. I mean, look at it. Drop a 1 if you can hear me. Hopefully my audio is fine. It does say I'm there. Someone tried to clean up. Someone tried to clean up. And if you're being disrespectful to any of my mods here, I will show you the boot. That is 100% true. 100% true. And you know what Viv needs to do? Cover up her goddamn boobs. Little kids on the internet can see that shit. So Jesse Bisou, fuck you. Goodbye. All right. Now, let's just do this. What? Les? Viv has been calling me a twat waffle for 2 years. What? Oh my God. I feel so sorry for you. Whatever Viv has done, fuck Viv. Viv needs to give herself a check. I don't know, and I don't mean money. I mean like a thorough check from the head down. Okay? Because I'm going to say this 100 freaking percent. That girl has got to be on someone's payroll. For the shit she does, no fucking vile human is that vile. Except for Viv. In my humble opinion, from all the proof that I've gathered on her, that Viv is a disgusting human being. Disgusting in my book. All right. Yeah, we don't need to expose ourselves. They make clothing that'll cover all that shit up. That's an attention. Pick me. Pick me. Pick left and right. Pick 1 and 2. Okay? That's my humble opinion. Now, this picture looks like somebody stepped on it, smeared it around because they knew that something was going to give them away. What was it? Were they barefoot in the room? Like I said a long time ago, someone's toe touched something in that room? Absolutely. I would love to dive into these people's finances. I have a freaking list of 50 plus people, creators, that might all be connected. Crazy. Crazy. Now, it looks like either somebody ransacked this place, they were looking for something. Just like in the first 2 rooms. It looks like they were looking for something. Or just a fight broke out. They weren't asleep, guys. Not even asleep. So, what do you think? Was there a fight? Was somebody looking for something? What do you think it is? Drop your comments. It looks like somebody walked over, either had shoes on, because there is a latent print somewhere in here per the documents, wiped it on the pillow, Who in the hell could have done something this disgusting, folks? Who? This is not a movie scene. This is a crime scene photo. It came directly off the ISP website. I was able to download all these photos. Some of these I just can't show. This was a crime scene photo. Looks like somebody took the napkin, tried to wipe it up with the shoe. What was there that would have possibly said, lead back to who did this? What was it? Even on the cell phone. Don't you think that somebody would have tried to dial 911? I mean, I would have. Maybe they couldn't reach their phone because we were told they were all killed instantly. So how could somebody be writing anything in blood, folks? How could they be writing something in blood if they're all immediately injured and deceased? Logically, could that have happened? I mean, someone said that this looks like God spelled out. Well, who the hell would spell God after these people were immediately deceased? I mean, we've got to start asking questions in this case. We were told instantly they were all unalived. Unless that's not the truth. Unless they were trying to get help. Now, I don't know whose phone this is, but obviously there's no way that they could be texting somebody if this phone is in blood on the floor where Xana was, allegedly, according to the documents. It would have to be somebody that was very comfortable with a bloody scene, like a hunter, a med student, somebody in the medical field, somebody who could scalp an individual or a dog or an animal or even a bear or a deer. It had to have been somebody who could stand the sight of blood, because honestly, even in my medical background, I couldn't even really stand the sight of blood. Not one sight of blood. I mean, I honestly believe the killer is out there looking at these fucking pictures, enjoying what they see because they did it. They're proud of themselves. And that, my friends, is fucking disgusting. If you were out there and you were watching and you were enjoying and getting off on these pictures, you are one sick fuck. Excuse me. It's just disgusting. Freaking disgusting. And you know what? I bet the families know. I bet the families are looking at this thinking, my God, they're out there and they're seeing these, and we have got to get people to stop talking about it, and we got to get ISP. We got to threaten them with legal action if they don't take it down. Think about it, folks. Somebody who had to have known anatomy and physiology, 100%. And they're out there living their best fucking life on the internet. The killers are out there living their best fucking life, living life, drinking, partying, friends, whatever, and laughing at the people still talking about this case. And they want us to believe that Brian Koberger is a lone incel and murderer? How in the fuck did he ever get to a PhD level with being a lone incel murderer? I mean, they tried to say he did it before with no proof. They tried to say that he was this disgusting heroin addict that changed his ways, but yet he still had some type of tendency of violence when he had no history of violence. It's crazy. So is this really a case, or is this some story? What is it really? I guess maybe we have to ask ourselves, what do you believe? Are they pushing the limits to what we believe, or testing us on the limits of what we should believe? I don't know. But what I do know is this. Something disgusting took place. And I really don't think that they know everything that took place. Now, they want us to believe this knife sheath was found right there, right under there. Like, how? How was this right under there? How? Oh, I'm just going to gently sit this down right here, and then I'm going to create a brutal murder, and then I'm going to walk away, and I'm just going to leave the sheath right here, right here. No, it looks like it was there after the fact. I agree, Les, and I agree, Caleb. Bull sheath. And this is, yep, I would agree. This is freaking disgusting that they could ever do this. To let these fucking, excuse me, animals of this violent crime get away with this. That looks like it was gently placed there and tucked to bed around these murdered kids. In my humble opinion, what do you think? What do you think of this picture? Looking at this picture, what do you think? We all have free will. We can think all we want. Does this look like this sheath was involved in some horrible, brutal crime? And then we're labeled mentally ill for wanting the truth? We're labeled all these other names for reading the documents and sharing them truthfully? I've never said, oh, this is not even a conspiracy. This is disgusting. This case has been disgusting against the justice system, against the individuals, against the families, against the victims, against creators sharing the truth. This is evidence. This is evidence. The powers that be wanted you to see the evidence, and it's getting out. The powers that don't want you to see the evidence are the ones trying to silence the truth. That is exactly what we are seeing in this day and age. And there's a name for that. There's a name for this. I want to show you a video I put together because there's a lot of current controversy over this right now out there online. I have done my own due diligence before I present this to you. My own gathering. I'm no expert. I've looked at this video. I've listened to this video probably over 300 times. I have tried to interpret this video the best possible way. And I have finally been able to say that this is a factual audio from Moscow Police Department, factual body cam. And honestly, I have tried to help with closed captions of my own in red. And you can listen for yourself if you turn it up.
I don't know the names of the victims.
One moment, I need to turn off these banners or else you won't be able to see it. Here we go.
I can tell you more over here if you want. Tell you more over here if you want. I can tell you more over here. But
Now, I'm digging into this part. He says buttons. There is somebody named Ed Button, and he is a fire department retired chief. I believe he lives somewhere in this area. I've not been able to narrow it down, but he points out and he says buttons. I'm still looking into this portion of it. This is redacted right here when he says that.
I don't know the names of the victims.
He says, I don't know if you know this. One of the victims is a CI.
I don't know the names of the victims.
One of the victims is a CI. Now, let's look at the legal definition of a victim. A victim is a person who suffered harm as the result of a crime. It could be a physical injury or death, emotional, physical, psychological, financial, or violation of rights. A victim does not have to be dead, people. Okay? They don't have to be dead. Example. Let me give you an example. I wrote this out this morning and I thought, you know what? This is really good timing. A person assaulted but survives is still a victim. A person robbed is a victim. A person threatened or stalked is a victim. A person killed is also a victim. That would be a deceased victim. Victims have special legal rights. They have victim impact statements. They have the right to be notified of proceedings. They have the right to be present, sometimes right to restitution, which we've seen. And there is a deceased legal meaning. Deceased is not a legal role. It's simply a status. It means the person's dead. That's it. A deceased person can be a victim, but he doesn't say this. He says one of the victims is a CI. One of the victims is a CI.
I can tell you more over here if you want.
At that house.
But
I don't know the names of the
He
victims.
says one of the victims is a CI. He didn't say was, he said is. I have gone over this over and over in slow motion, in fast motion, and trying to get it accurate. And he says one of the victims is a CI. So we know what the definition of a victim is. We know what deceased is, and we know what a witness is. And remember, in the case, there was a hearing of victim versus witness. Do you guys remember this? They had a hearing on victim versus a witness. And that was very clear in that hearing. They had to go through and they had to talk about who was going to be a witness and who was going to be a victim. And they determined in that hearing that Bethany and Dylan, either or, would be a victim or a witness. Who remembers that specific hearing that they had to determine a victim versus witness? Yes, there was a hearing. What was the outcome of that hearing? Don't know? Still under seal? I'm sure we'll get closer to understanding what happened in that hearing. We never got to see the full, unredacted, specific answer that many of us are looking for. And why is that? Remember, a victim can be one who was harmed by the crime. That gives a victim impact statement. Who gave, literally, who gave a in-person victim impact statement. See, process of elimination is really, at the forefront here. She was labeled a victim. She was labeled a victim. And the news even said she was a victim. She gave her statement. I remember that 100% because we watched it and we streamed it live. She gave her statement.
This is Dylan Mortensen. We're asking.
Now, do I believe, in my humble opinion, she may have been a victim? Absolutely. Okay. So why do I think it's Dylan? It makes logical sense that it was Dylan. And why? Because Dylan's stepmother was an Ada County prosecutor. She was, in fact, an attorney in Ada County. And if there had been something going on in Moscow, in my humble opinion, she was the perfect person to put in there to be a CI. She had the protection, she had the backing, she had the knowledge, and if something went down, I would humbly think that she would know firsthand. Now, let me say this with a grain of salt here because I know people are going to be coming for me. Why do you think they got a GoFundMe? For her to get protection, to move, and get therapy. The odds of Dylan being a CI is more likely than anyone else in that house. More than likely is the more logical sense this would make if Dylan was the CI. Because, see, Bethany's parents had a federal investigation or something of that nature that I have not been able to confirm. That has been a rumor. And she was from out of state. Dylan, on the other hand, would be more accepted. She was in the area, went to school for a specific purpose, and she was more protected than anyone else in that house. And that makes common sense that she was perhaps, allegedly, the CI. Now, how confident am I in this? Probably about 75%. 75%, if not, maybe less. But I would love to see, again, the smoking gun that shows us Brian Koberger did this. What evidence do they have on Brian Koberger doing this? Still, I've never seen anything to this day. Nothing to this day that shows that this was Brian Koberger. I don't think there's anything they have unless it's all being hidden. I don't think Brian Koberger would strike me as a guy who drinks Keystone. I don't think he strikes me as a guy who's a hunter that would maybe scalp somebody, in my humble opinion, or be able to tolerate all this massive destruction. Sure doesn't strike me as a guy that would do something of this nature. But it does sound like some story someone's pushed for us to believe. But, again, I'll take a step back in logic and ask the hard questions that somebody won't ask. Because remember, Dylan couldn't remember anything. She couldn't remember if she was drinking or not drinking. She couldn't remember if it was a dream or not a dream. She couldn't remember anything. She never got charged with underage drinking. She never got charged with anything, but yet she hung out with these people. She knew everybody. She knew Maddie and Kaylee, and maybe not as well as, she probably would have wanted to. But she knew all the misfits. And when I say misfits, I mean the kids that had been in trouble, kids that were making trouble, kids that were spoiled little brats that would cause who knows what. Maybe cause this? Possible. Very possible. Fake IDs, all this other stuff, planted trips and money and all these other things happening. I mean, guys, this, in my humble opinion, was a crime within a crime. Somebody is wanting you to stop talking about this because I feel they're on the edge of getting caught in something bigger than you all even can fathom. My mods are fabulous. I'm going to put your comments on the screen. I want you to think long and hard about it until I come back on Monday, because I've got a doozy for you that you don't want to miss. And I'm not telling you this just for clicks, likes, and views. I'm telling you because they're not going to tell you, and they don't want you to know. And who are they? Those people who are getting paid to lie to you. Y'all have a great Sunday with your family. I'm going to make a video, but this is my response to the darker and the darkest side of true crime. My mods are awesome. Our channel is awesome, and we're not going anywhere. Be well, everyone.
Truth is born again. I will rise up like a phoenix from the flame. Find my voice and call out your name. From the roots of what I used to be, I'll embrace the truth and set it free. Blinded by the truth